Shamik Dhar is the chief economist, Georgie, for Bank of New York Mellon. He joins me now from Surrey in England. So we have here an interesting thing. First of all, let's deal with the stimulus coming from the Commission. They've got their budget through by some weird 4-page document that clarifies issues for Poland and Hungary. I mean, it's classic Euro fudge, but it does mean that the stimulus package or the recovery package and the budget can be passed.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right, Richard. It's Euro fudge as usual, but it's important Euro fudge in this case because I think that fiscal package, actually compared even with the monetary measures that we've heard about today, is actually the more important thing. So yes, absolutely. I think it's good news. It's sensible on the part of both the European Council and the ECB to have done what they've done today.
The ECB measures are more of the same in a sense, more purchases, more lending facilities. And as we go into the harsh winter, is it your view that it's necessary, not just sufficient?
I think that's a really nice way of putting it. I think, yes, absolutely, it is necessary. We're going through here in Europe what I describe as a bit of an air pocket between through sort of Q4 and Q1, a bit of a sort of turbulent period before hopefully the vaccine rollouts get going and we get much, much stronger growth in the middle of next year. Now, it makes sense, I think, in that context to offer as much support as possible. But, you know, it's clear that QE over time seems to have had a diminishing impact per euro of QE spent.
I mean, it's had almost, we've got to the point now where they're doing it just to maintain the books, so to speak. Any hope that it actually does have a stimulative effect is on the downside. But I want to really turn about Brexit, because the British Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, is saying tonight it's possible no deal. They have this date on Sunday in a few weeks that, you know, it has to be done by then. How much is the market priced in the fact of a no-deal Brexit, do you think?
So it's been moving around a lot recently. I think the market until very recently was pricing in something like a 75 to 80% chance of a deal. I always felt that was a bit optimistic. I think for a long time it's been more like 50-50. These are deep issues of principle, in particular the level playing field issues. And of course the UK negotiating team has adopted a much sort of tougher stance throughout the year. So I honestly, genuinely think it's about 50-50 at the moment, moving down below 50.
Right, but on the economic front, I mean, I assume the UK economy, the last thing it really needs is this sort of hit. But how bad would that hit be? I mean, you used to be, of course, the chief economist of the Foreign Office, and you're well familiar with the ins and outs of how bad it would be.
Yeah, thank you. And I made myself quite unpopular at the Foreign Office by arguing that actually it would be nasty, but not maybe as nasty as a lot of people, a lot of my fellow economists were suggesting. I think, look, we'll see, we will definitely see disruption in the event of no deal. I think it could cost the UK economy of the order of sort of 1 to 2%, spread out really over the first 2 quarters of the year. After that, I suspect things are much more sort of open than most think. I don't think this is a sort of an effect that's going to drag on for years and years. What that means, I think, is that, you know, it's something you want to avoid. 1 or 2% GDP loss is something you want to avoid, which is why a deal is a good thing, but not at all costs. So I think that's what's informed the UK negotiating position this year.
Good to have you. Well, let's talk more as the year moves on into next year. Very glad to have you on as part of the team now on Quest Means Business. Thank you, sir.